Strong math, specifically algebra, which you will learn later on in the school, is the foundation of computer science. The abacus was the first original manual computer that was invented some 2,300 years BC and was first used by Persians in 600 BC. Charles Babbage, a British mechanical engineer, invented the first computer some 150 years ago. Computers went through many improvements over the years, and this is a picture of an IBM mainframe dating back to 1980s. In 1980s, Steve Jobs and his partner Steve Wozniak created the first Apple computer in Silicon Valley. This is a picture of the first prototype of the Apple computer built by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in early 80s. This is a picture of Apple II, built by Steve Jobs and Apple Computer in 1980s, which became a sensational hit and an international bestseller. Soon after, IBM released its first personal computer, which consisted of a monitor, a chassis, and a keyboard, as you can see. Bill Gates, who was a Harvard student, dropped out of Harvard to start Microsoft and wrote the first operating system for the IBM PC. Computers are digital because the internal representation of all characters, including alphabet and numbers, are binary. A base 2 system represented by ones and zeros. Coding is what makes it possible for us to create computer software, apps, and websites. The browser, the apps on the phone are the examples of code. Computer software has many different applications. In this particular slide, you see design software, primarily AutoCAD, used for designing an automobile. This section is about computer networks and how networks work. In this slide, you see a diagram of a local area network, or a LAN. A router is a networking device that sits between the LAN and the wide area network, called WAN, which is commonly referred to as the Internet. This is a wireless LAN network, also called a Wi-Fi network. The device with antennas is a wireless access point with a router combined. In this slide, you see a firewall, which is a network security device that sits between the router and the Internet, and its purpose is to block viruses. Cloud is a huge data center which holds an enormous amount of data for millions of people in the city, country, or around the world. Here is an example of what is actually a cloud, which is a data center somewhere remote holding all the data for the users of that particular application. In this particular slide, you see the evolution of the mobile phone from the 1980s to the current. Computer technologies are the foundation of many different businesses, such as Amazon, which is an e-commerce company. In this slide, you see augmented reality, where digital images of furniture are placed in the living room of the user to see if it fits and they like it. In virtual reality, a 3D computer-generated simulation of an environment can be interacted by the user using a special helmet and controlling devices. Artificial intelligence, or AI, are intelligent computer programs that make decisions similar to the way humans make decisions. Written, produced, and directed by Asady, and presented by Sebastian Asady and Asady.